I want to end today's show talking about
Our friendship will end like Jensen and Jared.
Cowboy Bebop adaptation that's coming to Netflix, and there has been a little bit of
No, not
news
this shit again.
about that. this is all this episode is.
This crappy show hasn't come out yet.
It did get a video was released of the three leads sort of bopping along to the theme song with the announcement that Yoko Kanno will be doing the soundtrack, which is probably the first bit of good news for this show, because the music in Cowboy Bebop is important, and she did a great job composing it. The video itself, by the way, if you want to go watch it, only the person playing Faye Valentine seems like give a shit at all, by the way, but be that as it may. And it is getting...
Well, I don't think the others even recognized where the music was from. They don't even get it.
Yeah, that's entirely possible as well. I think I've talked about it once before that this series is a, pretty much doomed to fail. But John Cho will be playing Spike, Mustafa Shakir will be playing Jet Black, and Danielle Pineda will be playing Faye Valentine. But yeah, so it's getting a fall release date. At least hopefully the music will be on point.
All right, I'll get the soundtrack, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Before I play this clip from, it's a John Cho interview that we've referenced before on the show, but it bears rewatching, as now we are, because fall is not that far off before this thing comes out. Where are you at with this Cowboy Bebop adaptation, Jeff?
I'm not for it. I'm not gonna watch it. I don't want to. I like Cowboy Bebop just fine.
Yeah, why not watch that? It's only 26 episodes.
Yeah, and the movie. I'll watch those. That's enough for me. Yeah. I don't like John Cho, and I don't think he's Spike Spiegel. I think he's too much of a dork, honestly.
Well, let's roll in and just show one more time why I am so concerned about this show, in particular John Cho as Spike.
A fan, and so when I found out that you were going to be playing Spike,
it's from IGN.
Netflix's Cowboy Bebop
IGN
live action
sucks.
adaptation.
Yes.
I freaked out. Did you get any advice from the director of the anime, Watanabe, stepping into the role of such an iconic anime character?
We did not communicate, but it was. I mean, we're not done, but it's really cool. It's such a unique piece of material. It's got such a unique vibe. So many disparate elements coming together into a single project. It's so weird. I think that was the big thing that I was focusing on all the time, was like, we got to keep it strange.
That's his takeaway.
And that's hard to do.
Oh, man.
I watched some of the stuff. I'm really happy with it.
He's watched some of the stuff.
I think he means what they've produced. I'm glad that he's happy with it.
How long were you in there listening, Spike?
Too long. Your story needs editing.
Agreed.
What was your favorite episode?
I'm trying to think of a couple of moments, I'll say. Two
Maybe
of
we'll
my
have some
favorite
good
moments
memes.
is the shower where the hermaphrodite scene.
A woman?
Was not a funny scene, John.
Which one are you?
So it's a very serious episode.
Very culturally insensitive that he was giggling at that.
Yeah, it's also a very serious episode, and one of the better episodes of the series too.
It was
And
great
then
duology.
Another one is like when they're going for to find the Betamax machine.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, this is so ballsy.
Yeah.
It was like 8 minutes
Right?
of looking for a Betamax machine. Long minutes.
Hated it. He was bored.
They had to draw that.
Is that a beta cassette? What?
Anyway, I just wanted to play a clip of that just to reinforce how worried I am that this is going to be an absolute.
I don't think John Cho has seen
failure.
all the episodes.
I don't think John Cho has seen a whole episode of a single one.
If those two scenes were from the same episode, I would feel that, okay, he's seen that one, but no. That's bizarre.
I don't think he understands what Cowboy Bebop is supposed to be. He was very dismissive about wanting to have any sort of contact with the creator. A lack of understanding of what the real themes of the show are. I want to keep it strange. And what?
I also feel like that it's not up to you, John. Why don't you just focus on making sure that Spike, works live action wise? He's not like a good actor. He doesn't come across as like a Spike Spiegel to me or anything like that. He's not charismatic in any way, and I can't imagine him kicking anybody's ass. I don't know. This stinks.
It's going to be really bad.
I'd rather watch the Avatar show than this shit.
Yes, I would too. I don't. There's something.
Because at least they seem to have an understanding of the characters.
That and I feel like the Avatar show is going to be infinitely more just dismissible if it sucks. Whereas I feel like they're gonna try and really hammer this. I feel like this Cowboy Bebop show, and I don't know. I feel like there's just gonna be a lot of. I'm convinced that it is going to be very bad. I feel like the Cowboy Bebop adaptation for whatever reason is somehow more diminishing to the anime than this Avatar show is. I think maybe because we've already lived through the bad movie and that's already been confined to the ash heap of history, but I'm just more worried about this Cowboy Bebop show.
I think when you switch mediums, it's easy enough to ignore stuff. I think that's why The Mandalorian has a bigger impact than like that Clone Wars show with Star Wars. Because it matches the movies more because it's live action, it's people, you know. So I mean, I think it's sort of the same thing here. They almost seem like two completely different worlds. And Cowboy Bebop is, it's a tight story and it's complete. So it's not like we need anything extra here. It's not even like with the Many Saints of Newark thing where it's like they can build upon the same story. They're not building upon the Cowboy Bebop story here. They're either retelling it or obviously with changes and stuff, but I feel like you'll be able to dismiss this just fine. And I think people will, because Cowboy Bebop, as great as it is, I mean, yeah, it's a great anime, but I also feel like it's a little bit more white noise if you take that story and make it live action. Because I think there's more things like Cowboy Bebop in a live action world where there's not with animation.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Why, like Keanu Reeves with John Wick, I know that he wanted to do live action Cowboy Bebop for a long time. It's like I think that's his Spike, and it's like that's sort of my live action Spike Spiegel is Keanu Reeves got to do the John Wick thing.
It's like, why do we need a live action Cowboy Bebop at all, though?
I mean, when I was younger and like was first like a new fan of Cowboy Bebop and stuff, I would have been fine with that. I like seeing stuff that I like in new ways. I like seeing, like the Marvel movies. I would have appreciated it more if they came out when I was even younger. Yeah. I mean, it's the kind like the first time you saw Captain America on the big screen,
for sure.
Like that was a big deal. And it's well, I mean, and there's people that love Cowboy Bebop more than you do, and it's like, so maybe they would be excited about this. And I don't know, depending on how they feel about these actors and Netflix in general, maybe they're still excited or maybe they're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess for me, the Captain America comparison is that like, I'd never really, going from comic book to the big screen versus something that is already motion animated to the big screen is not.
Okay, well, what about like a Batman live action movie? You still enjoy those, and the animated series is fucking better. Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Batman Forever.
Yeah, it's even better than Batman Forever, dude. I hate to burst your bubble.
Revisit that Val Kilmer meme that I posted this morning.
I will. I will. Well, we're going to do a whole episode about the anime Cowboy Bebop. I'm sure here in the coming months. Hopefully before this stinker.
Maybe we'll have it come out around the same time.
Yeah, maybe you know what? Maybe that's a good idea. I like that. But it's great having you back on the show, buddy.
I'll see you in a couple months.
I'll see you once you catch up on your Sopranos podcast.
Yeah, look forward to listening to this in like a year or so after I'm done with talking Sopranos.
Yeah, we'll see about that. But have a great week, everyone. And remember, if you're a nerd, always say it loud and say it proud.